Hello, hello, hello! We kinda got a different episode for you today. Today we're going over various games I made in Game Maker, most of which were made in high school. Game Maker, if you didn't know, was freeware software that allowed you to make games. If you've watched any videos on it, you know that some of these games are not particularly good. There's some that are better than others. It's like, you never really make a very competitive game with it, but you know, it teaches you the basics of programming and stuff, so it's not that bad. Especially considering it's free and Unity, last time I checked, is like $3,000, so, yeah. Okay, well, this is Asteroids. This is like the first game I ever started making where I kind of started to get used to Game Maker, and it's also the only game I've really ever made that actually feels kind of like a game, because most of this stuff was just like, most of the games I started making were way too complicated for what I knew how to do, so I kind of just abandoned them halfway through. This way, anyway, it's a basic space shooter. You move the ship around. The sound effects make your ears bleed out. And then you can't think anymore. So what that does is it takes away all your ability to think, so you just mindlessly keep playing the game. And there's UFOs that appear sometimes. It's all based on score. Like, you get to a certain score, got epic explosion effects. But anyway, you get to a certain score, and then more stuff spawns. I think after like 300 points or so, if I remember correctly, the asteroid starts speeding up. Okay. I died. Your ship kind of drifts uncontrollably through space. Here's another UFO that shoots missiles at you. I screwed myself there. Man, it just kind of keeps going, and I died. Let's try that again. Anyway, this goes on for a while. Like, I think there's stuff that appears up to like 2,000 points or so. And there's the kamikaze guy. Got 2 explosions on that. Also, I just realized I have a stat there for health that is not actually used. It might actually be for the bosses once we get down to the bosses, which take a while. Okay, so the asteroid, I think, starts speeding up around now. Nope, we got this guy. This guy that drops bombs that look like apples. Also, you can shoot the bombs. He takes more than one shot. Anyway. Yeah, now they're speeding up. Kamikaze guy again. I'll just go until I run out of lives. The first run was kind of short and stupid. This is the most complete game I have, so the other games after this are not going to take as long. Oh, good grief. In case your ears weren't bleeding yet. Ow. Maybe I do have health, because I think I took a hit there. Die! Dang it. That was the semi-boss, I think. All the way. Lost a life. I think they're moving faster again. There's that guy again. You shoot 3 bullets at a time. There's a power-up somewhere I think you get from one of the bosses that allows you to shoot up to 5 at a time. I don't really remember this guy that much. I think he's just really tough. Oh, he's got damage effects. Cool. Now he's shooting faster, too. Oh, now they're going really fast. Yeah, like I said, this goes on for a while. Where's the next enemy already? Come on. Oops. Oops. Well, that was cheap. Anyway, there's also a secret sandbox mode, which I think is screwed up. Oh, wait, this is the help screen. Never mind. Okay. So press enter. 1. Then you can spawn whatever. Like this dragon thingy. Which never comes back from the side of the screen. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Like 20 minutes later. Anyway. Or is that because I pressed the button again? What the frick is that thing? It's funny because I drew all this stuff once and I still don't know what the frick I was going. It's a dragon of some sort. And so the idea is you get to a certain point and you kill all the UFOs and you start fighting space dragons because I needed another type of thing to fight. This guy doesn't do anything apparently. And the lamest sound effect ever. And that's a power-up that allows you to shoot 5 things. I gotta kill that thing at some point. What else can I do? Spawn him again. Oh god, not that thing. It's less ear bleeding now. But anyway, you could press buttons and just insta-spawn stuff instead of waiting for the score to add up, which allows you to test things without having to play through the entire game. The only limitation is they don't seem to fire anything here. Yeah, it goes back. 2 goes back to normal. Got an invisible dragon. Looks more like a worm, but okay. That thing. That's actually the final boss, I think, for the UFOs. What does that do? Is that just a life or what? You know, I'm in the menu. Gave myself 99 lives somehow. Another cheat I put in? Oh well. So anyway, that's Asteroids. And this is a really terrible racing game I made. So yeah, you can pick your car, you can pick a track, you can watch in amazement as the car moves in 90-degree angles in a straight line. Yeah, I never really figured the physics out. But hey, on the bright side, you can actually pick multiple tracks. And it's got traffic that slowly drives across the screen. And buildings that look like rectangles. Hey, but we do have one improvement over big rigs over the road racing, and that is you can hit the buildings. And there are kind of damage effects if you can see them. They're kind of small. Anyway. And the third track isn't even finished. Like, all the objects are from the second track, and there's just a different background and road layout. I never actually got around to finishing this track. Anyway, that's really all that game has to show. And developed directly from that is Death Race, where all the cars now have weapons, and there's a couple different cars from the actual racing game. I think they're also scaled up a bit. Anyway, so there's only one track, but it's a pretty long track, and the entire game has changed to not rely so much on driving physics. Anyway, but the most impressive thing of all is we have the world's worst AI. Which is ridiculously slow, like I can go up to 4 and it only goes 1. There's also a HUD in this game. With a non-working position feature. So yeah, this is more about racing in a straight line and trying to avoid obstacles. There's also some power-ups. You can get ammo, which allows you to use the weapons. And going backwards is really hard because it kind of just wants to go side to side. There, we got the ammo. So yeah, I can shoot missiles now. The only thing it really does is you can shoot, I think you can hit the walls with them. And the enemy cars, which, if I can line it up, which is hard, because the controls aren't that good. And all the cars had different top speeds and health stats and weapons. Like this thing has missiles. So yeah, and then the missile just sticks to the back of the car, and the car is instantly damaged and destroyed. Because that's how missiles work, right? Anyway, yeah, you can pick different cars. I think the AI is always the same car. This car is like really small compared to the AI. It's like a micro car, like an RC almost. Yeah, that's that game. If you try to choose a different track, nothing happens. It just kind of freezes. You gotta go to track 1 to start. The hit detection on the text is not very good, as you can imagine. Yeah, that's that game in a nutshell. And here's a sample of the AI code, just to prove that it's not set to follow a certain path, like Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. Then developed from that is Battle Tanks, which not only uses the same menu background, but also has a more confusing menu. So yeah, you pick a tank. It also has shaded textures, so not textures, but graphics. So it's a little bit more graphically advanced, but not that much. So yeah, there's a single player mode that I can't access in this version because it's broken, but you can go multiplayer and pick a thing, maybe. There. And now here's the funniest glitch that I think is only in this version, because in the slightly better version it's not here. But if you try to rotate the turret, it just changes into random sprites. So I can have a miniature version of this car as a sprite. I can have, I don't know what the mini sprites are for. I think they're for the menu. I just never actually used them. You can have the HUD. Now we can drive the HUD around, because that's always something we wanted to do, apparently. Got this giant bar, and we can actually just cycle through that. You can have a nitro bottle as a turret. That's safe. We can have another tank as a turret. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm showing this version of the game, because this glitch is hilarious. Not sure what's going on there. I think we have like another car as a turret. A tree that's almost lined up perfectly, actually. Bunch of invisible things. Traffic car, taxi, pickup. The start button. That's a pretty popular one. Now we're just another tank entirely, kind of. Now when you're moving up and down, it almost looks like the tracks are moving. Anyway, so that's that version. The next version still uses the menu from the Death Race game. But we can actually get into what was supposed to be the single player mode, which doesn't seem to work in the other version for whatever reason. Here, you can actually turn the turret. It doesn't do that thing where it changes to one of any other sprite in the game. You can shoot these turrets, and they just kind of shoot indefinitely. Then you go up here, and then 2 other jeeps come in from the side, and a bomber destroys the fountain. You can't interact with these jeeps. They don't actually do anything. And that is the entirety of how far I got on designing what was supposed to be the first level. So yeah, and you can. Does multiplayer actually work? Did I ever actually fix that? There's a few different arenas. We'll go to city. They're basically just different colors. Oh wait, there's actually cars. Okay. So we got a different tank here. It's got a different design turret. Can we switch the cars? I don't remember. It's been forever since I've done any work on this. No, we can make them disappear, though. That's a thing. Okay. Well, that's about all there is to see on that. Then there is Destroy the City, where you play as a UFO blowing up buildings that spawn at random. I didn't really get very far with this one either. I think at some point a fighter jet appears, and then you can also shoot sideways to kill the fighter jet, which is literally the only thing that can kill you, is the missile in the fighter jet. And there it goes. Awesome crash effects. The buildings have damage effects. And there's supposed to be multiple levels, but I don't know how to get to them. You can shoot sideways more than you can downwards. Because why wouldn't you be able to do that? Yeah, so that's it for that game, basically. There's this game, which I don't really remember, which I think I started making in college. And it's not really finished at all. Like, at this point, it's just a menu. And you hit play, and that's about it. Nothing really happens. You can commit a crime. Not really. You can just light the buttons up. It's got nice buttons, at least. That's one thing it does have, is nice buttons, because, you know, that's entirely important for a game. So that concludes everything I've made in Game Maker that's currently in a presentable state. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, or subscribe, or check out some of my other videos where I play games that are much better than these, for the most part. Anyway, this is Strike 9716 signing off for now.